I'm on a little bit.
Well, what happened when we started, I started in where we went overseas. And we got over there, the dysentery, eat something and got sick.
Yeah.
And we didn't go in till so many days after the invasion.
Yeah.
So it was 8 or 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
Then a man's life was about 3 days, you know, on off the beach,
Yeah.
going into England, in France.
Right.
We left from England going to France.
Yeah.
And so I had a buddy with me. He was a American Indian, or you know,
Mm-hmm.
and he was right beside him. They had hedgerows over there, and they'd be on the other side of the hedgerow.
Yeah.
And had tanks. He said, now you run in behind these tanks if you see anything and call and let them farm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, had the phone hanging out of the tanks. I wouldn't run it and call. I said, I ain't doing that.
Oh.
Just see. And I was just the first class private. Well, then when I got in there, my buddy was in and he'd run out and just open up fire and we'd run back behind the hedgerow.
Oh.
Then they threw the mortar in there. Hit him, cut the bone out of my hand right there.
Oh.
That got the bone out of my hand. Hit him, and so I got to go back. And I stayed back again a while. But while I was going in there, in these places, I seen a wall standing, brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I was laying there, getting foxholes and all this, anything to be safe.
Yeah.
And I looked up on that wall and it looked like Christ's picture.
Oh.
On the wall and everything was demolished, but this had one section.
Oh.
And it looked like Christ's picture.
Hmm.
You know,
I said, boy, that's a miracle. To me, I began to study and think.
my doctor, the surgeon I went to last week, and Durham went with me in there,
Mm-hmm.
and he stayed in there an hour and a half, and his patients were waiting on him, and he just sat down there and went to talking, asked the Durham questions.
Yeah, I told him that I went through the service and what I meant to Russians.
Yeah.
I said,
Well,
Durham, I said, hush, I said,
Yeah.
yeah, I just talked a little bit.
listen, pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, he
doctors-
really was. He said, did you get her in Germany or somewhere? And then Durham.
Yeah, where did you get hurt at? That was in
Well,
Germany?
I've got not
I
been
mean,
in Germany, but I
he
never
wanted
did.
to know if Durham got me in Germany.
Oh.
Before,
yeah.
and Durham told him, said, no, I wasn't married, but I come home and got married, and then we got married, and that doctor listed all of that, and he's a surgeon, and he just,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he
and I was sitting there watching him, and it's an hour and a half.
That's her doctor.
Yeah.
Passing time off and patients away.
You're telling the story
Yeah, I
about.
was telling him
Yeah.
what I went through. See, I got 2 Purple Hearts. The general, I'd be over there and went after one got killed,
Mm-hmm.
and I get a Purple Heart. Well, I went on, and way on in Germany somewhere, the other got killed. But my lieutenant, when we went in the house, invading the house, you know, taking over,
Mm-hmm.
I learned to not get up in the doors and windows, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and watching about that, and the lieutenant standing in the door over, or close, and they shot him, and I seen the fella, I never shot to kill him, but I seen the guy that shot him, and there's a big steel fence between them. I shot him. Boom! He go around, gone.
Oh.
That bullet hit that fence, and I never heard such a racket. And I didn't shoot but one time, and I never shot to kill. I should say I shot, but I didn't. That's the only man I shot to kill.
Oh, the one that killed that
When it got
lieutenant.
my lieutenant.
Hmm.
Yeah, I could got him. I thought he was on the other side of the fence. That big steel
pretty
fence.
good, I reckon. How
And
are
I
you
said,
doing?
that's the only one I shot to kill that I didn't kill.
Hmm.
This is, you know. Then that went on in there and was going to take a town, and they had haystacks. And that's when they got my, the German, my sergeant was a German.
Yeah.
And you know that.
And it is right on the side of it. We stayed in the building before we made this attack.
Yeah.
We stayed in the building. He said, you know, of all the places I get hit, I don't want to get hit in this one.
Yeah.
So we started out and we got about, I don't know how far going into this village, and I seen it. It's a car shed or something in the back of that raised up. Gun had a big tank or something in there. But we get far enough.
Yeah.
Well, right aside of him, it was this year. He was a German, but he was American, in American service.
Right.
And he was a German. He knew something about Germany.
Mhm.
And he said, "Well, the place to get hit, he got hit in the stomach, right side.
Oh.
And machine gun tore belt ammunition, ripped through belt ammunition right out. That's how close it got to me. Car like that, machine gun. Well, it kept him, he run from his machine gun and kept on, got in the same trench that he was in where his gun was.
Oh.
And we took that tank, just kept on, what did
Kept
get
going.
killed? We took the tank. But what happened
So Michael's here now.
is a haystack, and I don't know why.
He said, tell
It's
him
a-
about when
it's
you're
a-
in Miami.
They said, that's where that machine gun is fired from. And they said I got credit for shooting into that haystack,
Yeah.
machine gun, all rolled out.
Oh, from the haystack.
Yeah, and they said, you get credit for that, because you the one that thought, you know,
It's coming from the haystack.
that I had a BAR. But the way I done, to set it up like a machine gun,
Yeah.
I just took the tripod and it carried it, and about 2 bursts was all on fire.
Mhm.
See, you shoot 50 times.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't fire.
No.
And I didn't have nothing on me
I
to shine, no.
nothing,
just cried.
Right.
And I said, that's the reason I got along. See, they pick out the leaders. And the snipers, 18-year-olds would be sniping, and they'd be picking out, you know. I learned that. They told me to go over a hedgerow or something. I said, you go over there. Sergeant said, you go and see where they are. I could hear them, you know. I wouldn't go over there. I tell them to go.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they go?
And well, they got them all down, said, no, you have to go now. It's done, they wiped us all out but a couple.
Mhm.
And they're gonna make me this, that, and other. And I wouldn't, that's the reason they thought I'd go over there, you know.
Oh.
Like a lieutenant or a sergeant.
Because they wanted to make it better.
Yeah, I
Rank
knew
or
they
something.
was there, were looking for it.
Mhm.
And so I got to one place, I started digging through this hedgerow. And when I got where I could see through, there's a guy sitting in a tree, and his gun in it.
Hmm.
That's what it was, waiting on us.
Yeah.
I mean, you got them down, they run out, left, what, did you get hit or something?
Yeah.
Got away. And they wanted me to take prisoners back. They said, now, if you take prisoners back, when we got over there, you shoot them, come on back. I wouldn't take a prisoner.
Oh.
I didn't take a prisoner.
They're gonna make you take prisoner and
Oh,
shoot
yeah.
them?
When the first, said, if you take these prisoners back, you kill them, and come on back. See, we had no place to go when we first went down on
Yeah.
first made it in.
Well, you didn't have any place to take them back too,
No,
so
we
you
had
just
no
had
place
to.
to take them back. See, the ship, they've done and gone, it brought us, dumped us off there at the, when they invaded.
At the beach. What beach did you go into? Do you remember?
Well, we went to, I forget the name of it. That's when they first started, you know, in.
Yeah.
And I used to know all the names of them places. I forgot them now. I'm glad I have, though.
Yeah.
A lot of things that
Don't want to remember.
I don't remember.
So that was the best thing though about it, was to go in there, not have the stars and the stripes shining on you, huh?
Yeah.
So you didn't get
Well,
picked out.
that's what I thought. Now, they're picking for the leader.
Uh-huh.
And if I'd have went over there first, they'd have got me probably.
You told them you weren't going to go because you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I could hear them over there. See, it's so close in them hedgerows, you could hear them over there.
Mhm.
And I have been on guard and be right quiet and let them go right and find me. Patrol.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wouldn't move. Just be right quiet and let them.
So you just assume not shoot them.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't want to, stir it up right then, but I'll be on guard at night or something, and that's just what happened in Durham. Well, got in there, the railroad, and so some of them said, look at here, no wonder, look at this wire on the side of the track, They had a wire on the side of the track, cut that wire, boy, everything broke loose and they started moving out again.
Oh.
That cut their communication.
Mm-hmm. That's the way it happened though, huh?
Yeah, that's what happened there at one place. So then we was supposed to take they sent them in there to bum a place, a little bunker place down on the Elk River.
Yeah.
And they told us how to do. And they had a big old fence around it. So we started in. That's in Germany. That's when I believe I got knocked down then with shrapnel. Getting in there, split my helmet.
Right.
Oh.
And knocked me down. And then I went on down there, and there's a patrol coming down on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to told us how to take that tank, a big old cement building under there.
Mm-hmm. Bunker.
That bunker. They went out of town and stopped there to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And we went through this wire fence, and in the bottom there, they'd plowed a fur, just like there's a fur looked like a plow. That wasn't about that big difference.
Yeah.
Well, when I seen them two coming, and they started shooting, I fell, just laying that fur just like a lay. And they shoot, and they see me, they shoot, and the dirt was flopping in, When they hit the ground, I could feel that dirt just like it's covering me up. But I just didn't move. He left me for dead.
Played possum on
Yeah, I laid there till they got gone. And then my other buddies and all, they took it. They had something on it. The door was set up. I don't know, they told us how to blow the door. There's 300 prisoners you got.
Oh.
Out of that big bunker. After they tried to bomb it, and they're still in there.
Prisoners of
That was the Germans was in there. In this building.
Oh.
See, they left their town.
Yeah.
That's their place.
Huh.
Bunker in there.
Hmm.
And the river run
The Ebb River.
Yeah.
Did you go into Germany or did you go into
I went through Germany.
They went
Belgium, Holland, all that.
all of them.
Yeah. And in Germany, the Russians was giving up.
Yeah.
A lot of them in the Germans, the Russians was after the Germans and forcing them in
Right.
this river. Well, at night women would come with their suitcases, take them as prisoners. The Germans was getting away from Russia. See, they didn't want Russia to take them as prisoners.
Right.
And one night, this woman come and she had her gun and everything. I took her gun and took her back to the building. Went back on guard. She went on back safe.
Oh.
Yeah, she had her gun on her. I took her gun, put her in the house, sir. Went back on the garden. And that, see, they was pushing them. And they was coming back in Germany, giving up to the Americans before they would Russia.
Yeah, they didn't want the Russians because the
No,
Russians
they
would take care of them.
Yeah, and that's when I was on guard, I learned that.
Yeah.
I just took them back to the German house and give her a room. And she was so glad, to be alive.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess you would be back
And
then.
they, escaping at night, away from over there, checking out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I went through a lot of things. I don't see how I ever did it.
You don't see how they ever made it out of it, huh? So you got your helmet cracked by mortar?
Yeah, I had my helmet, and when it burst close.
Right.
But I think before that, we was taking a town. We was in the foxhole.
Yeah.
And it's 2 in the morning out there, a good piece of wood, right in the edge of town. Now the buildings we done got in there. And I was in a foxhole, me and another fellow was in a foxhole.
Yeah.
And he told me when I got one, he said, if anything happened to me, you send my watch back home. Well, he had a new watch on it. And I never thought much about it, but got in there and I gracious,
Well, we stayed.
in that hole over there,
They're just
they
a
dropped
minute,
the
but they just
shell.
dropped nothing
and
more.
they just blowed them out in pieces. Up, you know, into the buildings, the houses, part of it, and they were scattered.
Yeah.
Well, this guy side of me, he never hears another gun. And I said, oh, it saved me. I had an old, one of these old wood helmets and a cap. I put it down under my helmet, over my ear, and my eardrum didn't bust. That's all it saved. Now
Oh,
this guy's with me, shoulder to shoulder. He never heard another gunfire.
Hmm.
That's how close I come to get
I'm
to
gonna take up my-
But I don't know why.
that wool cap.
I had that old wool cap and I pulled it down, you know, and I had my helmet on, and down in this hole, and it blew them out. And I said, Lord, when I seen that boy, that watches his sight. Well, I think I talked to his people or something later when I got out. That he said send it back, but it was tore up. See what it was.
Oh, it was torn up.
Just busted off. I mean, shattered.
It just blew him up out of there.
Yeah, just blew him out.
Wow.
It went in her hole. But now what I do, after I learned that, if they laid a barrage, just here and there, everywhere. And when they dropped the lumber or whatever,
Yeah.
I made a dive to get in. And when you learn the smoke coming out, Lord, my near foot, kill me.
Yeah.
I get in that hole. And then watching out snipers and be in church steeple and anything like that around.
Yeah, yeah.
I get down in there in that hole for protection.
Oh,
I wouldn't have to see them.
if you run from it, they'd shoot you.
Yeah, it shoots you if you see it. I've been, and one time I got in one of them holes when they made it,
Yeah.
and it's sniper in the church tower.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he kept on
These
and buddy
so
son
thick, so they don't make nothing.
Hmm.
run him out.
Yeah.
That's the way
And last year I had
things
my
happen like that.
forehead and I
But
said.
I learned, see, they never dropped the bomb in the same place, you know.
Yeah.
They'd make me a hole, dig me a hole, I'd jump in. And that saved me there. But I just lucky that Durham, I didn't put on no,
Yeah.
had no marks or nothing, you know, to show out.
Yeah, but
At
that's
any
good.
rate,
Yeah.
and I figured that helped too.
Yeah. A lot of experience helped out there. Huh? How long were you over there in that?
Well, I was in service 3 years, 5 days.
3 years?
3 years and 5
But
days.
that wasn't all in
No, I just
combat.
went, no, see, I took the training here in the States. And
Yeah.
when the war broke out, see, I was going to mission, trying equipment for Iceland, for the, you know, the army,
Yeah.
and they called us in. Man,
Well, I
so
told her,
I forget how long I spent the winter there. I don't know how many days I was in the combat. But see, when I got hit, I went back to England until my hand got healed.
Until it got better and then they sent you back
Then they
in.
sent me back. And when I went back, it was going into Germany.
So when you went in, they were just taking the beaches.
See, I went through Holland,
Yeah.
and they said, oh, let's see.
Well, I don't.
When I went back,
I fried for Durham, but I
uh,
don't eat nothing fried.
It's a big
Now,
town
I'm
over there, I
gonna put
forget
it
the
on my
name of it.
green beans.
In Holland?
No,
I'm
in,
gonna fix me some like that.
Frankfurt?
no, it's on this side of, I'm trying to think of the name of that big town. But anyhow, we went in there and they surrounded us. Patton went on through and they come
But
back.
I like it on the
And
beans.
we stayed back there. Had us cut off about 3 days and nights before we ever broke.
Yeah,
Oh.
I just leave
In
on
that
top and
town,
take
I
it
forget
off.
the name, it's the biggest town in France.
In Paris?
Yeah, Paris is what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, going to see, that's the outskirts of Paris.
Mhm.
When they come through and he went on through.
Mhm.
And we stayed there about 3 days and nights before we broke out. And Patton had went on, you see, before we.
It gets pretty scary, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they don't find
Yeah,
it
we're
out
supposed to
yet.
follow him
A lot
up,
of people
see.
said they told me, but
He done
I
that.
did, well, I-
No.
That's one time pretty rough, but when they left, I picked up one German Luger,
Yeah.
put it in my bag.
Did you?
I was carrying one of them, boy, now them are good guns. And I was gonna bring it home with me, and when I had it in my duffel bag back there, and boy, when it started bombing, before, I don't know, somebody stole that thing.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm gonna take one back, he said, Belgium. John said, here, I've got a Belgian gun.
I didn't
And
see
I
when Burl called, said, I didn't.
traded him out of it or something and brought it back. But I wanted that P-38, the German,
That Luger, yeah.
yeah, that German, I wanted that thing, I brought it back home. I said, boy, that's the best souvenir I found. See, they left their guns and things, took off.
They had to, didn't they?
Yeah,
Some over a couple of these
Huh.
furniture places.
Run 'em out.
and their money, a lot of money that they had left.
Huh.
I didn't
Something like that. He-
try to
he retired
take no
and they
money
begged
out.
him to come
Yeah.
back.
So when you went over there, you stayed over there in combat for a winter, huh?
Yeah, oh, I served through
He's
the winter.
growing it.
Durham.
That was a long time.
That's why he don't work.
Spent the winter. And then seriously, he come in there, but he didn't,
How long did he stay?
he didn't stay long, the war's over.
By the time he got over
Yeah,
there.
he got in there. So.
Huh.
And after the war's over, he said, well, you get a vacation, you go down there to France. And
No, Bill,
we
Bill Sig-
went down there, a week's vacation,
Yeah,
go to
they
the beach and look back on that mountain there, and snow on it, play in the beach, let's see. I forget the name. And then went for to Italy over there.
Yeah.
I went into Italy.
Did you?
And I seen a whole lot, you know, after the war's over.
Yeah.
Spent a week just
Piddling around,
on
huh?
vacation, yeah. Everything paid for.
What'd you do when you came back?
Oh, well, I got, when I come back, I just packed when I got to come
Yeah,
home.
they give him
Yeah.
something, and I knew,
No, we got to
she
get
took
to come
him
home.
Saturday.
War's over then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to see where old Hitler was, you know,
Oh.
pictures and everything. Seen where he started out from.
Huh.
I got to see all.
Did you? Something else, ain't it?
Oh, it's something to see. But, I don't see
Yeah,
that.
it's something like
But
that.
I'll tell you what happened, I believe.
And said the
when I was
doctor
over
said
there
that when.
in Germany,
he said, we told you
went
to
back
say
on the
you
C3
went
line.
and said you
Yeah.
looked right.
And I got to a place one evening, I got in there, and I seen something look like a bomb. I didn't know what it was. But the next day I found out it's Americans dropping their tanks, you know, off when the planes, when they flew,
Yeah.
emptied it and they dropped one, and it's right close to where I thought, and I thought it was a bomb. I just seen this dead. And I thought, without the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I'll never
When he's got his,
I'm wrong.
he's gonna make some.
Because you thought it was a bomb.
Yeah, I know that was a bomb and that's my last move.
Oh, when it come down, you thought it was a bomb?
No, yeah, I could see it, yeah, it's right close, it wasn't fur, I could see it. And it was shaped sharp, just like a big bomb. But when I found out what it was the next day, see that night, that's when I
Yeah,
thought I was dead, this good dead, I know that, you know.
Yeah.
And then I got to praying that night and next morning, I seen that. Somehow, I said, without the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I'd never come out of there.
Oh.
That's when it came. I done seen that wall standing with Christ's picture on it. I got studying about that, you know, over there in France when I started.
Yeah.
I thought, well, without faith and trust in Him, I'd never made it.
Oh.
So I'm lucky, just one of the lucky ones. Then when I got out, I said, how much you want? I said, well, 10% will suit me. I'm able, I ain't crippled up. No, he gave me 10%. I could draw longer to live, $60 or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, after I never did have change. And they said, well, I went over here, they said, you can go and get more. You know, what you went through in your record, you could get more.
Uh-huh.
Since I had 2 Purple Hearts and all this, that, and you know, I kept one to give rid of that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Lord, I didn't know. Now, Louise got my Purple Heart.
Oh, did she? Huh.
Yeah, a lot of things like that went through with it. Just lucky. And these people my age now, and all I used to run with, got all gone.
Oh. Well, Grandpa passed away about, what, a year and a half ago? And then,
He's 81, but
he's 81.
I'll be 81 this year.
You're in a little bit better shape than he was,
Oh, yeah, I keep moving, wiggling.
You don't have that diabetes gnawing at you either.
No, I'm
That's
looking
good.
out. I'm looking out on that.
Maybe something in that war scared you up good. It kicked it out of your system or something.
It done something to me, but I'm like the rest of them. I got, now, I'm forgetful, forget names,
Yeah.
you know, it's getting
Well,
bad.
I know the first
Oh.
time I eat.
Yeah, I know people's face, but I can't call their name.
Down there, and you had.
Oh.
I said so time, all the time, working on it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hello.
yeah.
Who is that you talking to?
Birdie,
Oh,
Oh.
Durham has.
Birdie.
Yeah,
Birdie.
Yeah, we were just over there to see her the other day.
yeah, she told me you was.
Yep, you want
Mike,
anything
she
else?
wants to know when you were going home.
I'm not sure yet.
He said he wasn't sure yet.
Old Max
He's
was,
on a good vacation, and he,
old Max
as long
was,
as you want.
Max was telling me some good stories the other day.
Mac,
Max.
Yeah.
oh. I bet.
Well, I'll tell him he's gonna
Can't
have
say-
to do more of that.
Can't say too much about it. It was meanest though.
Oh, yeah. He tell you about what
Yeah, well,
they
thanks
got
for
into
calling.
New York and around?
Oh yeah, he told me about those.
Yeah.
He gets involved in a little.
Breaking in?
What about that one? Oh, you mean where the guy broke into his cab?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.